Hey, yeah, just like Margaret said, here we go. We're a few minutes late. Had a few technical difficulties in the green room this morning, but we're here. We're here this morning. It's this evening. See, I need some more Zevium. I'm drinking my first one tonight. But it's good to have everybody waiting and ready and raring to go. What do we got here? Who did I see? I saw Antoine was here early. He's usually like an hour after any of our shows get started, and he was here right at the beginning. So welcome to the show early tonight, Antoine. But we got a lot of stuff to cover. We got Hakes coming in early. We've got I might have a few app-related things to talk about. I've got a guest appearance, surprise appearance from Jiggy, whether he knows it or not. And gosh, I got a Page I Love segment. I got a video clip that I put together from some stuff Tile IT sent us. Lots of good stuff to go over tonight. But it's good to have everybody here with me. It's morning in Korea. Bob Layton. You know, I think everybody's missing Bob Layton. He hasn't been on in about 3 or 4 weeks. I'll have to shoot him an email. We'll see when we can get Bob to come on and welcome and warm up the CAF update crowd. So yeah. Well, so let's get this thing started. I got Hakes. Well, I thought I was going to have a Hakes plural in the green room to get things started, but today we have Hakes singular. And joining me this evening is Kelly. How you doing,
Howdy.
Kelly?
How we doing? Yeah, it's a little. What is it? The
All right.
opposite of 2-3 weeks ago when it was, and I was not
Yeah,
here.
when Alex had to fly solo. Now you get to fly solo tonight. We'll
Yes,
see. We'll have the audience vote on which Hakes staffer they prefer to have on camera.
I don't know if I'm
We
gonna
probably
allow
don't want
that.
to do that.
No, I don't know if that's allowed. I think I think that it would
They
be.
might vote for Sean, and that would be the thing that would really upset everybody at the
Ooh.
office.
Okay. Moving right along. Yeah. Right. Um, no. Yeah. We're here, and it was a fantastic auction. So this is the
That's
first
right. You had
time.
your auctions last.
Yeah,
Mhm.
ended last week. This is the first time I was not in the office the night the auction closed. I was on a plane flying to England, and I
How do
watched
they
the
allow
bid.
that to happen?
I
I thought you
well, it
guys
was
all had to be at the ready.
everything was fine, and everything went smoothly. It was I don't have to be there. Well, I should be there right now, but they let me come home for the night. But anyway, no, I there was a convention in England I had to get to, and the timing was just that. But everything went off without a hitch, so it was a little
Did you pay
weird
for the
not being.
internet on the flight so you could follow the auction?
What's that? Yes.
Did you
Oh
pay?
yeah.
You paid for the internet so you could
No, yeah. Yeah. I
follow
was.
everything?
I should have been sleeping or trying to sleep because of the time change. But anyway, I watched the auction from there, and it was very exciting to watch in the plane. So yeah,
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
we were going to talk. We're going to do a little recap. We got, I don't know, I think it was a dozen auctions that
Mhm.
you and Alex picked out, and then we have a couple pieces to preview from your summer auction, and
Yes.
then yeah, let's see here. So what do we got? I got a shared screen here. I can look at. So this was like the big item of the show for you guys as far as comic
It
art went.
was.
Right, it was that Star Wars one page. It went for with the buyer's premium just over $80,000.
$80,000. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
This is. I mean, what the first 6 issues that were movie adaptation books we've sold in the past 2 or 3 pages from these adaptations, and this is the first page to sell from issue 1. Um, any Star Wars fans going to know these scenes. They're going to know the famous phrase, "I find your lack of faith disturbing," which is right on this at the top of this panel with Darth Vader. One of the things that we got a kick out of, actually, we were all at OAX. Anyone here have actually heard of OAX? I hope they have at this point, right?
They may not have all been to OAX, but they've heard of it by now.
Well, they've heard of it. Yeah. How does Darth Vader drink the coffee? Is the very interesting thing on this page because
There's no straw. You're right. That is a good question.
No, that was Todd and Josiah and I were at the convention looking at this page on display, and we talked about it more. And that was my lack of Star Wars art disturbing. Well, Rick, you're in luck because there's more. So that we'll get to later on.
There you go. There's an additional piece of history. Bob was there when Howard was drawing this, and they had no idea what it was or what the significance of it.
What? That is crazy.
I
That
know. Well, yeah, he had little reference, says Bob. All right.
you can kind of see that. So from the art from number one, in my opinion, I mean, I wasn't there. Maybe Bob can, if he was there for when they were doing issue two. The from two on, the art, in my opinion, it tightened up. Like I don't know if he was drawing number one, they didn't let him watch the movie, or they didn't have a lot of uh, references to what it actually could have looked like. Because I mean, the art style just changed from one to two, and then from so on and so forth. It just seemed like it was. I don't know. He took a little more time later on, or maybe not.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm not an artist, but anyway, this page. I mean, just like most pieces of art, this just speaks for itself. It's issue one. Uh, I have no other issues. Other pages from issue one exist, but this is the first to sell at auction. Um, Yeah, and I would imagine, was he using a plastic or a cardboard straw? Really, I don't know. If is that up to Marcus to decide that? But
Mm.
yeah, I don't know why he decided, or it was decided that he summons a cup of coffee and then he holds it. But anyway,
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to talk to Hakes about the Zevia quota that I need each month. I don't know, Jason. I'm stocked. They're 2 for 1 at Publix right now. So when that happens, I've got more than enough Zevia floating around the house in the FHQ. So this was a page from Star Wars 5, another one by let's see, what did it go? Went for almost 43,000, and another Howard Chaykin
Howard
piece.
Chaykin, yeah.
There we go.
I don't know if it seems like that way to you, that the lines seem a little more
A
precise.
little more assured.
Yeah, I don't know. If it could be from what Bob was saying, like, oh, maybe by the time I got to issue two, it was.
It's one of those nights. It's Thursday night here at CAF headquarters,
If
and
only Sean was
everybody's
here.
in.
If Sean was here for all the Star Wars jokes, that would be great. But
Mhm.
he's not. We miss you, Sean. Um, this is actually, from what I understand from our research, is the second highest Star Wars page to sell, and they're both in the same auction. So this
Mhm.
one, I mean, that the great Leia panel and Chewie on there, just fantastic. Later on in the movie, so this one really surprised us, as well as the number one. I didn't know where that was going to go. We left it at an open estimate because there was not much to compare it to, and this one we said 10 to 20,000, and it brought 42. Yeah, and Alex is chiming in. Thank you, Alex. Second highest story page, which yes it is. So yeah,
Not too bad.
Yeah, great page, and these are all fresh to the market. This art, the number one art, from the same consigner, and they're sent a very happy, very thrilled email to us, explaining how thrilled they were with the results, and how well we treated them, how well we treated the art. So I think it shows.
It's always good to have happy consigners.
It is. I mean, I wish I could say they were all happy, but for now we will say that. Sometimes it's not warranted, in my opinion, but for some of the odd complaints. But this.
What was the estimate on this? I mean, it went for almost $40,000. You had 5 to 10 on it.
So the amount of holiday special sales out there there aren't that many to compare this to, and this particular scene was so popular that they did create Sarah cells from this exact, or close to this exact moment. So at least at the time, Lucas thought it was important enough. Lucasfilm thought it was important enough to create Sarah cells. This is not that. This is an original cell with an original background. Incredible scene, and the first on-screen or on-film appearance of Boba Fett. Predates Empire Strikes Back. Good luck if you can find a copy or find it streaming anywhere, because they aren't too thrilled with it anywhere. Who's counting, really? 4 fingers. I don't think it matters, right? Does it? Does he have 4 fingers?
Yeah,
It's a cartoon. I mean,
exactly. It's tough to draw 5. But Hey, but still, almost 40 grand is not
40 grand.
not too
It
bad.
is that was, I mean, it's just a record. I think a cell also sold the same week somewhere else for 5,000. So
Mm,
we really blew that one out of the water. Um, and this with I mean, backgrounds with cells is extremely. Thank you, Marcus. The whole thing is on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. We're on YouTube right now.
mhm.
So the background really did help make this. There's one background to every 200 cells or so, whichever. So it's very hard to find the original background to a scene.
There you go. The whole squad at Marvel went to the Star Wars screening in '77. Fun. Now that
I'm
would have
really
been a
glad
party time.
that I'm really glad that Bob's here to enlighten us. I had no idea. That's really great. That's awesome. I'll
That
ask
was
you a lot more about this when I see you at the next OAX, Bob. I'm very curious. So I'd love to hear the stories. But yeah, great cell, great scene. And I think the FET tax, as they call it in the toy world, really came into
came
play on this
into
one.
came into play.
Yes, it did. Yeah, yeah.
So Mr. Berkey did tell us that he was the one who picked this up last night. We had a show with him, and he was like,
Oh, nice,
"I
nice.
got the Hawk." So I didn't even check. What did it go for? It went for $32,200 with the buyer's premium. So right at the high end of what you guys valued it at. But we all
Yeah,
got to see this at OAX. It was awesome.
yeah. In person, I think that I was really glad we could take those. It was something I knew that people had to see in person because I didn't want them to see a picture of that and think it was this big,
Right.
the same size, and I wanted everyone to see truly how large and impressive they were. And honestly, at the show, the Star Wars art got a lot of attention. We had other art, but these two pieces, this and the Captain America, I think got the most amount of attention because
Mm,
they just how large and impressive they were. So that was another great reason to go to OAX. Never know what you're going to see. So yeah,
that is true. Well, any guy who was making models back in the day. I mean, this is a little bit before my time too, but we're
right.
seeing him
Well,
around.
it's been re-released through Polar Lights and but it's also it's a very iconic image and it's
That's
interesting
cool.
that this was Neil Adams and I don't know the other I think Sean would know and Alex would know the artist for the other Bob Layton. Which one, Bob? You got to tell us which one.
Either the Hulk or Cap. But no, that's an awesome one. It's great that I know Berkey he's a fan of the Hulk as much as everybody thinks he just collects Spider-Man. He has probably more Hulk covers than anybody in
Oh
existence.
wow, yeah,
So yeah, so that's no surprise that he would have picked him up. He made
yeah,
all of them. So there you go. What's next? So then what we had? Oh, that was the cover by Kane, right? So let's see
yeah.
here.
The Gil Kane cover.
All
This
right.
came from the same consigner as the one page, and these covers are so over here. We had 6 comics for movie adaptation. In England, they had 12 because they were weeklies, so they were just more of them. And I hope I'm getting my numbers here correct. I'm pretty sure I am. So there were a couple Europe, UK only covers for movie adaptations, and others that went well beyond. There were hundreds of weeklies. Um, Great movie scene. I agree. It's an incredible cover, and I will say this one did make it back to England. It went to an English. That's as much as we can say about the winning bidder, but it is going to back across the pond. But great Gil Kane cover, and yeah, just the trash compactor scene, which is I believe one of the earliest of these covers to ever come to light, if not the earliest to come to sale. That I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, great cover. I'm Star Wars is that it's pretty obvious. It's one of my stronger likes at the office. So anything to do with that resonates with me. So
Well, cool. And just under
yeah,
20K on that.
Alex. Just so everyone knows, Alex did not go to bed. It is definitely the earliest. He just texted me. So, uh,
Yeah, Alex was having a little technical difficulty. I think
yeah.
it was that red room that he was trapped in. Um, but let's see here. What do we got? We got almost 17,000 on the wonderful Marvels piece by Ross.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This piece, a little. This is nothing to do with the art itself, but the consigner won this piece in a contest. And when I usually ask someone that walks up to, is actually got this at a convention, he walked up with it and said, "You have the art," and he always ask, well, I assume you have this. You must have other pieces or something. And he said, "No, I just won this and a random contest." And he just had it, and then he wanted to sell it, so gave it to us. And just based on our opinion, we thought it was worth 5 to 10,000, and we were low. Um, Great Alex Ross page.
Yeah, Marvel's pages don't come up too often, so
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody was very happy to get that, and they got the little Watchmen bit in there as well, which made it fun. Then next up was that West Coast Avengers cover that went for just less than 10.
Just shy of 10. Great
Yeah,
cover.
right.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. I think we all
Yeah.
like that one when we're looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
And
cover.
yeah, and then
And just,
this one was very memorable. The Vokes Robotech cover. I thought that was awesome.
yeah, I love wraparound covers, and this one is awesome. Um, Surprises, I believe it fell right in that estimate, 5 to 10,000, and a lot more than other covers that I've seen of I think I've saw covers in the 5 to 6 range, and this one above that. Yeah.
The Rich Rankins inks on there that makes it pop. Let's see here.
So Alex, are these typing or he's not typing? I'm not sure, but anyway, moving right along.
All right, what do we got here? Some Christmas cover original art.
Yeah, Hank Porter is known for his Good
Oh, right.
Housekeeping
Mhm.
art, and he did a couple of the covers for these Rexall magazines, and his cover art rarely comes up. So this was just a rarity in the Disney art world, and there's I believe the person who got it is a very serious Hank Porter collector. So yeah, that's a great Christmas scene. If you love Disney, I mean it's perfect for the wall. So great cover, very rare.
Sounds like it wound up with the right collector then.
Yes, it did.
We got a giant size, yes, giant size superheroes, Spider-Man 1, and this was that other Gil Kane cover, or not cover, piece we looked at, the Man-Wolf stuff, right? Let's see, this one went for almost 7,
Almost
all
7.
action. Yep.
All just a dynamic action page. Love it. Another piece where it was the only piece of art that the consigner had. He had some comics and this. So I don't know how he came upon it, but it's something that could have been cheap back in the day, but he didn't have a large collection, just one piece of art. Nice piece of art to have, I think.
Yeah, if you're going to have just one, then this isn't a bad one to have picked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. Okay, moving right along.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We did look at some of these.
Yeah, the Transform. Yeah, this art doesn't come up often, and this is. And in the world of Transformers art, it wasn't a very strong piece, but the result was surprising. Well, one over estimate, and I thought it was going to land right in the middle of that estimate, somewhere in $3,000 to $4,000 range, and it really Transformers is a strong category for us in toys, and I think it translated into the art. Yeah, not the most. It wouldn't say it's the most popular character, but it's a surprising price for what it was, what it is. Good piece.
Did you have a lot of Transformers toys and things like that?
In this last auction, it was a smaller but strong section. There's a very large Transformers section coming up in our summer auction that's to be announced. And this Micronauts page blew the estimate out of the water, 1 to 2,000, and I believe he was a big help in that one. So that was that definitely helps that page.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Broderick, and everybody likes Broderick's work on Micronauts. That's for sure. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, this is a nice page.
Yeah. Yes, it is. So
Well,
yeah, that one surprised us. But that's a roundup of this last auction. Very strong auction. Less lots than usual, but we more quality over quantity in this one. Appreciate the bids always. There
well,
might be more Micronauts coming. I'm not sure. We don't have any yet, but I hope it comes up. But yeah, very strong auction. Very happy with the results that we had across the board.
cool. So
So
you have so you're taking consignments now for the summer
for the
auction?
summer auction, key pieces will be on display at San Diego, including I'm pretty sure everything we're showing you now. These four lots will all be at San Diego.
Yeah, you'll have your armed security
Yeah.
guards hanging
Yes.
around.
Yes. That is a necessity these days, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, so, but yeah, it's the last weekly cover we had is we thought was fantastic, and it leads up to what has to be one of the greatest Star Wars weekly covers that they did that was for UK only. It is just Vader, Ben, battle on the Death Star. It is just incredible, incredible cover. Another Gil Kane cover. So that's just this will be in the auction. I believe it will blow that last result out of the water. So and this page, the last page we sold for 40,000 was great, and I think this one is twice as much as that one. And we will see. It's a great scene in the Falcon, Luke on the gunner position. Just a great page. TIE fighter, everything. Yeah, fantastic.
Another
And
Brian Bolland. That's
Brian
really nice.
Roberts, yeah, 1981, yeah, 2000 AD, Judge Dredd cover. This just came in. That if you love Boland, this Judge Dredd just really speaks for itself. Yeah, this is gonna. I think it's going to do very well. I was actually just over in England talking to a friend there who's a serious comic art collector, and yeah, he was very interested in this and very excited to talk about it. And I know it's a large presence in England over here. And Alex wanted me to tell you, as long as we have that one Star Wars page, we have three others to go with it, and maybe one or two other covers as well. So there's more to come. Just follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We are on all of it. Yeah, great, fantastic cover. Yeah.
No, that's right. And then you had one other piece that Alex sent me. That one of those mosaic pieces that are. I
Yes.
think they're huge, right? They're like 3 feet by 4 feet.
Yes, it's huge. It is just great for the wall. This is I said everything's going to be at San Diego. This is not going to be at San Diego. It will not fit on the plane. I don't know why. No, I think it's driven out there. But this is just too big for that. But it is incredibly detailed and just if you've never seen one of these mosaics in person, they are awesome, just awesome. So yeah, Matthew does a great job, painstaking work to get this to look right, and what a better cover to choose for this than Neil. So yeah. So we're taking consignments now. This is just a taste of what we have in now, and we're looking for more. And reach out to me, reach out to Alex, reach out to Sean, and we will make you an offer you can't refuse. We hope.
Yeah, that's what we all like to hear. All right, let me
Yeah.
see here. Let me close that. All right, well, Kelly, I'm sorry that we couldn't have Alex join us tonight, but he was
I'm not. It's fine. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't want to be put on a plane to someplace other than Europe, you know.
No, no. Well, no. You're absolutely right. No, I figure this is probably the punishment I get. Sorry, Alex. I'm not gonna get into the text you just sent me. Um, Thank you, Marcus. Uh, no, I feel like since I missed the last one. They're gonna make me talk the entire time this time.
Hmm.
So why not?
Makes
Just
sense.
it's just fair. It's just fair. So,
Well,
um,
so I'm probably going to San Diego. I'll let you guys know. If so, I'll
yeah,
be swinging by your booth, say hi,
yeah,
and get
and the
those
thing you asked for help, whatever you needed help with before you asked about, is still
yeah,
in.
I'll let you know. We're still kind of working out some of the details and stuff,
Sure.
yeah, I'll definitely be in touch about that too.
It's still available, or
Still
should be.
available. Okay, cool. I like to hear that.
Yeah,
All right, cool. Well, then I'm sure we'll touch base before San Diego and everything. I'm certain of that. But
I
yeah,
have to tell you that Alex gave me a C plus for the night, so that's fine. The C's get degrees, they say, right? Yeah. So
that is true. Well, I'll take a C plus from Alex anytime. He's a harsh. He's if he was a school teacher,
oh
he'd
my
probably be
God.
pretty rough on you with his scores.
Yes, absolutely. True that.
Especially the subjective ones. All right, Kelly. Well,
All right.
we'll be talking again soon, but say
Absolutely.
hey to everybody at Hakes, and we'll talk
I
to you again.
will. Yep. Thanks
Have a
again.
good night.
Yes. Bye.
All right. So there you go. That's we couldn't have Alex, but Alex will be around. We'll still have to see if we can get Alex to go to OAX again next year. We'll never, he made it in year one, maybe year three. He can hit every odd year. We'll see. So trophies. I got some more trophy photos, but before I even really show off legitimate trophy winners, I did get a photograph from our own Jason D'Ambrosio. I wish I would have had it last week. I could have shown it while he was here on camera with me, but he sent me some photos through Facebook. Was it today? Today and yesterday, I think. Let me see here. Where were those? I just put them all together here. There you go. He got a trophy, and look, he even found a place for it in his comic art room there. I can see it over there next to that Hulk statue. He put it over there. I gave him one of the beat up, well, not beat up, one of the ones that were not perfect, and he was happy to get it. But he also now has his emergency exit signs, which really brighten the room. I see he's decided to hang one on his closet door. I guess that's probably a joke. When anybody opens that door, they can, I don't know what they're going to find in there. But Jason, I'm glad that the surprised it's not. Yeah, surprise is not there. Okay. Yeah, it is looking good. Yeah, Jason, he looks good on next to the emergency sign. Anyway, you're welcome, Jason. I'm glad I finally had time to send them to you, and I see the artwork made it to you without being damaged as well. And you get your no prize trophy to go along with it. Congrats. Now, let me see here. I know I got a couple other trophy trophy images here. Who sent them to me? Got one from Aaron Noble that he sent along. He told me that was his wife's writing award. I can't remember what the actual award. Science and fantasy horror films. I think but it is a writer's award, not his. But he said he feels up to snuff at the house now that he has his own award to put beside his wife's, because I guess he's felt trophyless for a while. But congrats, Aaron, for getting that trophy and finding a spot for it. Then who else sent me something? Roland Benton. There you go. Roland decided to put it up on the wall with a lot of his framed artwork. It looks kind of small up there. It doesn't look like the actual size. But it looks okay. I don't know if he's going to leave it up there permanently, but if so, you can't not miss it there. It's hanging. It's up above the Disney art, which is always nice. And what else did I get? I got uh, our own, Bill Johnson. Look at this. He's showing off now because he's got a 2021 and a 2023 trophy to go with his 2024 trophy. So that's actually kind of cool. I don't even know if I've got all of those. I'll have to look and see. I might have. I don't know if I got the 2021 here as an extra one. I know. Dang, right? Number one Marvel fan. This Bill J. As we know, I think he's gotten all those awards for most commented artwork for a calendar year. Bill has a knack for putting up fantastic artwork in the month of January and February, such that he has the whole year to get comments on them, and he never comments on his own stuff, so he legitimately wins every single one of them. So yeah, the Bill J flex, that's true. And hey, I do have to mention that we had an issue with showing the badges for Best of 2024. We didn't know they weren't showing, but I believe it was probably like this time next week, and I forgot to tell everybody, or last week, but we did get them turned on. So anybody who won a badge for the artwork they posted to the Best of now have their badges showing up in their CAF profile. So, and where's Marcus? See, everybody wanted to know where Marcus was. I don't mind showing Marcus. He kind of deflowered the trophy in his own way, but there you go. He went to his favorite place to eat, the place that where you can get wieners in all shapes, sizes, colors, and coatings. And who would have known that the calf trophy could hold a corn dog? But it can. And for those of you who didn't know, you couldn't see it, you see in the veins in the back of the hull can do have the letters CAF in there. So yeah, there you go. I knew Jason would like that. George likes that. Everybody likes that. Jason's demanding Marcus gets his photo shown, but there you go. Wiener Schnitzel needs to be a sponsor. Them and Zevia, we just need to get them both. So there you have it. That's that, yeah. And I think I've got a few more outstanding trophy photos to come in, but I'll have to shoot out some reminder emails to people and see if I can't get them to do that. So what do I got for you now? Tyler T sent me some photographs. He was in Columbus to see some concerts, I believe, but he decided to go to the Billy Ireland Museum while he was there, like everyone here should. The Billy Ireland is an amazing museum for all illustration and comic and narrative artworks. Uh, Newspaper illustration, you name it, they have the biggest collection of original artwork in that category, and it's an amazing place. But typically they're only open Monday through Friday, so it makes it a little tricky to go. They do have special events maybe every other month on Saturdays, so there's opportunities to kind of get in there, but the weekdays are your best bet. But the Billy Ireland Museum is located inside the Ohio State campus. So again, fantastic resource, and they had two shows there. So when Tyler was there for these a pair of rock concerts or something that he was doing in Columbus, he went to see these two shows. One of the shows is it's probably of less interest, but more on the illustration side of things. It's from an artist who was did a lot of work for the New Yorker for both covers and interior illustrations. And then the other one, and I knew I should have wrote some notes down. I guess maybe we'll talk about it afterwards, but I forget the gentleman's name. It was Eli, forgetting the last name, but we'll see it in the slides here. But had an amazing art collection. This guy was into fandom. He was born in the 30s and was big into comics fandom in the 50s and 60s. And so he collected a lot of art along with all kinds of different, fandom stuff related to costumes and you name it. It was there. But we got about a 6 minutes, more of a slide presentation. He didn't shoot any video, unfortunately, but you'll get a good vibe for what pieces were there. But the pieces from this gentleman's art collection, which I'm just guessing were donated to museum, are spectacular. And I mean, they're so good that, I mean, if I'm up that way, and I'm going to try to go to Columbus for my mom and my aunt's birthdays in May, at the end of May, I hope that if I'm there, I'm going to go, because the artwork is unlike, it's a caliber that you haven't seen too often. So let me go ahead and play this video clip, and I'll see you on the other side of it. Where are you? Here we go. He took a lot, Jason. He took a lot. But yeah, it looks like a fantastic exhibit, and it looked like a John Severin page to me as well, Bob. But yeah, the Wally Wood, there were a couple of those. Reed Crandall. I mean, that's one hell of an exhibit, and and they always have great exhibits there, but this one really stands out. And it's weird, they don't push any PR our way. I've got to like reach out to them and kind of get us into their PR loop because they just don't. And it's funny. I mean, every other museum kind of organization out there, regularly sends out PR, but not the Billy Island Museum, unfortunately. But boy, yeah. So a great exhibit. I mean, that's an exhibit you'd want to get a catalog from if they actually made one. There's that much great artwork in it. But yeah. So hey, so I promised a Jiggy appearance here, and he's not going to appear live, but close to it though. We have Jiggy, of course, on this Saturday evening, 9 o'clock. Right? It's a fun in the sun art sale with the team, and Jiggy will be there. It's at 9 o'clock. It's part of a double header on Saturday because I've got Craig Rousseau earlier in the day at 2 o'clock, and then another sales show at 9 o'clock on Saturday. But we kind of gave Jiggy some direction and said, "Do you got any of the artwork you have, yet from the team? Do you have any in hand?" We're like, "Record a little video, just something for fun for us that we can show tonight and get on the channel." So it's already been out there, pushed out to our socials, but we do have. Let me see. I think I can share it, and you can probably hear it. This will definitely be a strike against us from our YouTube overlords, but I can always mute the music later on. But anyways, there you go. See, nice Jiggy. He was very happy to be on camera, and you can kind of get a vibe for the artwork he's bringing this Saturday evening.
Well, East Coast girls are in my village, those styles they wear. And the Southern girls with the way they talk, they knock me out when I'm down there. The Midwest mama's daughters really make you feel alright. And the Northern girls with the way they kiss, they keep their boyfriends warm at night. I dig it, girl. On the big California. Woo! Wow! I wish they all could be California. The West Coast has the sunshine, and the girls all feel so. Well, East Coast
There you go. We
girls
could watch that over and over on a loop, and we continue to get plenty from it. But yeah, that's what you have to expect this Saturday evening, 9 o'clock, with the whole team. Bob says Jiggy's expressions were priceless, and they certainly were. Yeah, that was a good one. That was not, I had nothing to do with that. Actually, Matt Sardo picked the song. So all that worked out really well. So Jiggy, we'll be seeing you on Saturday evening. So we might as well just go ahead and just hit the schedule. I haven't really made too many changes to our schedule since I showed it to you last time. But let's see here. Where's the slide for that? I've got, like I say, Craig and Craig Rousseau. First time. I've actually got some art beside me here. I'll show you guys that after we get done with this segment. But got Craig on at 2, and then that next comic card at 9. I've got Dewey Cassell on the 8th. Known Dewey for a very, very long time, and he was actually, I did an interview with him. He was one of the first people I actually did an interview with, but it was a recorded one. It was pre-pandemic. I didn't know what I was doing, and so we've had a lot of time pass since then, and so yeah, I figured it's worth bringing Dewey back on finally to talk to him again. I got Joelle Jones on the 12th. That's going to be fun. I've already got her art, and I'm sure some of you might like to see a preview of that, so I could maybe I'll preview a couple pieces. Might as well. I know there's some pieces that are going to have your jaws on the table. I guarantee that. Then I've got Jason Ladwig. I saw Jason in the chat earlier. He's going to be on for an interview on the 15th. I got Joe Phillips back after a couple of years of absence. He'll be on the 19th with me, 2 o'clock Saturday show. Patrick Reed, a guy who's helping curate both the Kirby exhibit in California at the Skirble Museum, and then also he is doing the Spider-Man exhibit in Chicago with Ben Saunders. So we've got him on the 22nd. DeTulio is going to be doing a Wednesday art drop. And why it still says 2. I knew I was going to screw that up. That's 9 p.m. That is not 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. It is 9 p.m. Got to take that off of there. Fred Hembeck back. I've actually got Fred's artwork too, but I'm not going to show it to you. And Sarah Jane's back on the 29th. Comic Art Live, our 11th Comic Art Live event is going to be on the weekend of the 17th and 18th. Jiggy's team and other artists hopefully will be with us on the 16th, Friday evening, doing our usual kickoff event. And then Patrick O'Hannick, who gosh, I talked with him a long time ago too. We're gonna be focused on his. We focused on illustration art when we talked with him about 4 years ago, and this time around we're going to be talking about his Golden Age and Silver Age collection, because he's got we didn't talk about that at all, and he's got an incredible collection. Not all of it posted on CAF either. And then in June I'll have Richard Pace and Kevin Nolan back. So for art sale shows on Saturday. So plenty of stuff going on. I do have a lot going on, but it's good. And there's a lot more stuff going on that we can't really talk about. There's lots of great stuff that you guys are going to get treated to in the very, very, very near future. Yeah, Matt DiTullio is getting hitched. That is right, Marcus. Everybody, if you're friends with Matt on your socials, you'll probably be seeing a few posts by him. Give him a high five and a congratulations. It's a wonderful moment in his life. I can tell you, he's happy. He's thrilled. He's down. I think he's in the Keys, if I'm not mistaken. Is where he's getting married. But congrats to him and his bride. It's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. Yeah, what was I going to tease? But I could show you some stuff. I'm just looking here. I can show you some of what Craig sent. Craig, what's Craig got? It's like half published stuff. He's got some. I mean, if you're a Herculoids fan, I think we've got like 6 pages from one of those books. I'm not sure. It says chapter 2. I'm gonna have to go through and figure out exactly what issues and whatnot from there. But there's a page from that. Kind of a Anthony would call this a 60% splash page, I guess. Right there you go. Kind of nice. And another Herculoids. I hate to say it, I did not watch the Herculoids ever, so I don't know what these little ghost critters are named. But okay, Rom says, who isn't a Herculoids fan? I'm just telling you, I never watched it. Like the art, don't know a darn thing about it though. It's I think is that the one it was? I don't know. Craig is a great guy. Nick Barucci knows Craig. Yep. So yeah, Herculoids. Is this Dynamite stuff? I don't even know. I know it's on Craig's boards, but I think Dynamite's done some Herculoids work. Then this is stuff from a Ninja Turtle one shot. This stuff is really nice. I'm not going to show it to my daughters. They'll probably want to buy it before I can put it on the show. But I think there's, let's see, another page from that. So it is Dynamite. Thank you, Nick. I had a feeling it was Dynamite. Another one here, and I can tell you these are very, very reasonably priced. So anybody that wants to kind of get a page from Craig, everything that he gave me, he priced, and it's very, very affordable. But this stuff is great. If you're a Turtle fan or a Herculoids fan, you're in the right place. I don't know what this was done for, but it's a kind of a Marvel-ish team shot piece, right? I'll have to ask him what it was used for. He didn't give me any descriptions on anything. He just gave me the outline for the prices. And then he's got some of this Batman 66 art. I know there's a few Adam West fans out there. Yeah, they're always in a precarious situation, aren't they? I can only imagine what they're thinking. I mean, look at right here. This is the one. They're buried up to their heads in the sand, and they got some scorpions coming at them. So I probably we're done for, old chum. Kind of a line there or two. I bet we could find out. Then what else we got? You got something called Batman Blockbuster. Maybe just some kind of convention style pieces. I don't think this is published. I'll have to ask him, but I don't think it was. Then he's got some young Hellboy artwork. Let's see. Let me find one that's got young Hellboy on it. Oh, here we go. So nice page there. It looks like, just looking at the pages, because I know these are all inked by him. I think in some cases he does blue line pencil, and then other times he might be doing printing blue lines on the board and then inking. So that's what it looks like to me. Another young Hellboy, and then I think we got 3 Impulse pages too. So I know there's a few Impulse fans out there. That's a nice one. It's an end page from let's see, I can't see what that is. Issue 32, end page to that, and then we got issue 39 from Impulse, and finally we got here issue 43 page. So there you have it. Oh, and there you go. There's a looks like another pinup commissioning style piece, Superman and Batman. And I don't have prices that I can tell you right now, but I got them all in my email. So Joel Jones. Maybe I'll show you 1 or 2 pieces. Impulse buy. Well, we're hoping for some of those, Marcus, as always. I won't show all of the Joel stuff, but I don't mind showing a couple. Let's see here. She sent me everything yesterday. And again, she's going to be on April 12th at 2 o'clock. So it'll be a Saturday. Hey, Carl. Carl has now joined us. Carl is in this chat. Let's see here. Where is Joel's artwork? 2 of the pieces we've actually had before. I don't know if you remember that we've offered them. I think we offered them during the I think we had her on a Comic Art Live panel once. So for an hour we had 6 pieces and 2 of them didn't sell, and it turns out I think it was these 2. So we'll definitely want to drop the prices on them. For the Star Wars fans, you should be happy because one of them is a Star Wars cover, and the other one is a DC cover. Yeah. See, it's tough to figure out which ones to show, and not show. But here, I'll show. I don't mind. I can tease a couple pieces here, and let's see. First up is let's see. Present this thing. Here we go. Now I can share it. It's a Catwoman cover. That's very nice. It's from issue 14. So again, I know there's plenty of fans of her work. Yeah, it's good. I have a Zen state about me. I don't know. I'm kind of just I'm more of a beatdown state of the moment. But there you go. That's the cover to issue 14 of Catwoman. Very nicely done. How much? We haven't gone over the prices yet. Those Joelle and I usually review the pieces together and figure that out. So we'll let you know. This next one though is really really awesome, and I assume it's published. I mean, it's listed as an Electra cover, but I haven't looked it up yet, and it doesn't have a number with it. But yeah, pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. So yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to say other than this is great, and her work doesn't come up too often. It is a wow. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Rick Welch. It is a wow. Then like this piece I know was one that we offered before, Female Furies cover. So I don't remember what it was priced at, but I will talk to her and make sure that we lower it. Then I should hide a few things, but I can tell you she has interiors from Future State. And yeah, I'm going to just stop this for a second before I don't want to show you what the interiors are for Future State just yet, but there are two pages from issue 1 and 3 pages from issue 2, and they're all action-y oriented fight scenes. Then here, we'll see. Okay, so I'm skipping over a couple of those. This I'm pretty sure this is published. It's from Lady Killer. I'll show off that one here. Let me highlight that. And it's of course very nice and bloody, as any Lady Killer piece should be. Then what else she got here? Bill has I do. And then what is this? Nubia cover? I'm not familiar with what that is from. Sounds like maybe something Wonder Woman-y. I know that has that feel. So there's that. Yeah, I guess I can show the other 3. A punk Harley Quinn image, which is awesome. No idea if it's published, but we'll find out. Any grifter on any of the future state pages? I don't know, Chris. I'll have to look. Then another awesome Wonder Woman piece. That one that she had last time was went really quickly. I think we had about 8 people that wanted to claim it, and I'd say this one is just as good, if not better. Really, really, really nice. And then this piece, Yara and Jerry is the title of that one. So there you go. There's a little bit of a tease of the pieces that we'll have with Joel. There, satisfied? Except for Chris, I don't know. I'd have to look, Chris. I actually have no idea about the future state pieces, but I don't know. If you hang out after the show, I could tell you as long as you promise to not tell anybody. um, all right. So other than that, I showed off that. I got some stuff I can open up real quick. Um, I did actually buy something from Anthony the other day, and he ended up sending. When I did that, he sent Gwen a gift, a graduation gift. So it sort of worked out that I did that. I don't. Let's see what's in here. I haven't opened it yet. So this was for Gwen. So I don't think Gwen's watching right now, but I'll take it into her afterwards. I don't know who did it. Uh, Gosh, I can't. Heather Antos? Heather Antos? Okay. There you go. So I will give that to Gwen. Thank you, Anthony. Nice graduation present from you. And then I have no idea why, but he included a copy of Daredevil 202 in here. I don't know. Thank you. I guess it's some, put this in the bathroom and I'll read it tomorrow. And then, yeah, the piece I picked up from him was I've never owned a published page from Walking Dead, and this one, we had one of those make offer shows a while back, and he lowered it, and still nobody bought it, and I was like, well, that's just dumb. It's a father-son moment, and I think it was like $350. So I picked up that moment with Rick and Carl. I just thought that was nice. I used to do a lot of shooting with my father. He'd take me out in a very similar situation, except we'd usually be at a table, not laying on the ground. And it's like, all right, that's kind of cool. So published page, what issue? I don't even know. Didn't matter to me what it was. It was issue 51, page 14. So thank you for that, Anthony. Then looks like I got a T-shirt. I'm guessing I got a T-shirt in from T Public. See where that well, we know. Well, we'll see who got this one. But thank you, Rick. I thought that was a cool page too. I never lost an eye, Marcus. I still got them. Still got them all. All right. What do we got? Oh, jeez. Oh, man. All right. This is Alex Garcia. I, this is one for all of you. I don't know if Alex is in the chat or watching right now, but this is, this is like obscene. This is bad. I almost don't even want to show this. But and I bet if we put it in the store, it would be gone in a heartbeat, pulled in a heartbeat, not like it sold out in a heartbeat. Gosh, I don't even want to show this. This is worse than the corn dog from Marcus. Okay, here I'll slide back here. There you go. How you like that? That's awful. Oh my God! Look at that. Hey, if we get this in the store and anybody buys them, bring them to me wherever I'm at. I'll be happy to sign it right on the center of the store. Oh my God, that is. Oh my God. All right. Hey, that's classic right there. But we'll see. I haven't put anything in the store in a while. We'll see if I'll get the original from Alex and. Oh, jeez. Oh shoot. All right. That was worth waiting a week for. I got that on Friday. I've been holding on to it ever since. Everybody loves that one. There's gas. There's stuff. Oh, man. All right. Enough of that. One more piece to open here. This was sent to me by David Wetzel. And I should have probably pre-torn this one open. But as everybody knows, there was that prop store preview that was what was it? It was a week ago, and Chuck was like, "Oh yeah, and he'll be, Tom will be drawing. Tom Sullivan will be drawing stuff there." And I was like, "You should have told me. I would have flown out." Well, I believe that. Let's see, what do we got here? David says, "Hello, Bill. Enjoy this sketch from Tom Sullivan. He's so nice. Take care, David Wetzel." So let's let us see what we have. Yeah, there's no feet on that one. Everybody loves that shirt. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to give Rob Liefeld a call and see if he approves. All right, what do we go? Oh, that's awesome. All right, let me put that aside. So here you go. It looks just like the one. Well, it looks similar. So obviously Tom Sullivan did all the a lot of the designs and made a lot of the props for Evil Dead. And so there you go. I have my own Tom Sullivan Evil Dead related skull drawing. Now I can't hang this on the wall, as we all know. That's not allowed. But David, thank you, David. I really, like I mentioned, Tom Sullivan was at this horror show in Northeast Ohio. But when I was in his booth, I mean, literally, he had like a little mini museum there with all the same props that they're selling at the prop store auction. I was in there for like 15 minutes. He was never there. So I never got to meet him when I was at this show. But thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, it's a half skull, so I can. I don't know. But that's awesome. Very, very, very much appreciated, David. Thank you so much. Wear the mask for Alex. I'm not going to do anything. Let's see. All he had were skulls. So that's all. Yeah, you couldn't ask for an ash or a deadite or anything like that. You just got skulls. That's okay. That's fine though. I mean, again, I'm glad he was a nice guy. Maybe one day I will get to meet him. I might have tried to fly there had I had the opportunity. So yeah, it was on Chuck's show last Monday, and I think that the preview was either Tuesday or last Wednesday. So anyway, cool, very good. Uh, Nick Forrest is here, so everybody can kick back and chill now. But Chuck Arnold, no, not that Chuck. Chuck Costas, Jason. Chuck Costas. Remember him? All right. So there we go. All right, what do we got next? I think I've gotten through most of the videos and slides and yeah. Oh, the only two things I wanted to remind everybody about on the schedule, I did skip over these. I brought these up last week, was that Benno is doing a get together Saturday, April 26th. It's a lunchtime thing from 11:30 to 4:30. So for those of you who are in the Atlanta area, there's Benno's email address on there. I would encourage you to RSVP. He says he doesn't have a huge house, but I've seen photos from his get-togethers. I mean, and if you've been in Benno's Calf Gallery, you know what kind of art he has on the walls. So you're in for a treat just to go there, even if you didn't bring your own stuff. But you're always be encouraged to bring a portfolio if you're going to come over and share. They're always a good time. And I've never been to one, but I've vicariously lived through, I think, 3 or 4 of them through the photographs we've shown here on the channel. So that's Benno's event, and then there is the Mike Zeck exhibit in Southern Indiana, and this is it opens what? It opens on the 11th of April, and I did email with Chuck Costas a couple days ago, and he said he will be shooting some video as well as I think he has somebody with him that will be shooting video too. So we should expect to at least get some clips from that. He made it sound like this exhibit is going to be up and running for almost a year. So anybody who and I know would they put an ad out there and not have the name of the university it's at? I have to Google it now so I can remind everybody where the heck it is. Art show exhibit. There we go. I don't know if they've got it listed yet. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Here, I'll put it in the chat for everybody. Right here. So just Indiana University. Okay, simple. Anyway, but yeah, it doesn't say in the article when it ends, but Chuck said it was almost a year. So plenty of time. Plenty of time. All right. And Stingray's in the chat. Now we can all kick back and relax. All right. So there you go. That's it for my slides. Next up, I have a Page I Love segment, and that is once again delivered by the amazing Kevin Sharp. I think I've got 2 or 3 in the queue right now. This one and the next one, or if it's not the next one, it's the one after that, is from one of Jason D'Ambrosio's favorite artists. Favorite. I mean, he would do anything. He would mend this man's socks if he were able. So it's a good one. It'll definitely be a good one. And I can't promise it for next week. It might be the week after that. But Kevin keeps delivering the goods. So, God. Anyway, so this is let me pull this one up right here. The page I love segment is with, I always forget how to pronounce her last name, Lavour, Sarah Lavour. But she's talking about some Jeff Smith bone art. So and I think that it was kind of funny that it timed like that because of course the Billy Ireland Museum, Jeff donated the majority of the art from bone to the Billy Ireland Museum. We got to see some of it when we were there a couple years ago, and she's going to be talking about a page from Jeff Smith's book that I know we haven't talked about Jeff too much in the past. So here you go.
Hey, it's Kevin Sharp. Today I'm joined by Sarah Louver, the artist on the adventures of Batgirl and Supergirl, to talk about a beloved black and white comic that we're also going to be looking at in color. Thanks for being here, Sarah, and tell us about the page you chose.
The page that I picked, it was hard to narrow it down. I feel like you can pick pretty much any page out of Bone, and it's going to be just wonderful. But the page in particular that I grabbed, I first encountered Bone with the Scholastic volumes, which were in color, and it wasn't until a bit later that I got the one volume, black and white, and when I read the black and white, it's like, oh, this is the way the comic is meant to be read, because it's just so great, his use of spot black. So I picked a page here from fairly early on in the Bone story. I think they're in the woods on a rainy night with thunder and lightning, and what I appreciate so much about this page in particular is just the clarity of the composition with the black and the white. It's just such a strong use of like knowing where to draw the eye, knowing where the shadows should go, knowing just how much to show, and it never feels muddled or lost. And it's such a tricky thing to accomplish. So I just not only that, but great use of hand lettering here with the big sound effects for the thunder. The way that the third panel there gets blown out completely with white, as opposed to the heavy black inks for the rest of the page, and the simple shape for Bone, Phone Bone moving through the space and Thorn following after. Yeah, it's just great use of inks here.
As an artist yourself, when you kind of stand back and look at a page like this, and you could have this page stand for Bone in general, what do you see as the things that Jeff Smith does well as a storyteller?
Oh, right. Well, that kind of goes back to, I had such a hard time just picking one page, because the other thing I think that Smith does so well is humor, and there are so many great gags throughout Bone, some that kind of just live as images in my brain that I think about a lot. But this portion here, and obviously throughout the rest of the story, it's an all ages title, but it's not just light, fluffy humor throughout. There are moments of dramatic tension, some pretty scary moments, and this is a portion of the story that shifts into that more serious tone when they kind of go looking for Grandma Ben out in the rain, and sort of all of the strange things that have been happening with Thorn are sort of starting to pick up that sort of undercurrent of strange things that are following the Bones. And I really do, as a creator myself, I appreciate all ages work that does show that you can have a serious story and not necessarily sacrifice the fact that it's appropriate to hand to a young kid or a young adult or an adult. So I very much appreciate that about Bone.
You mentioned first seeing this series in a Scholastic book. I'm going to assume you weren't yet a professional at that time.
Um, I was not yet a professional. I found it in middle school at a Scholastic book fair, so quite early on. But what I loved about it is that up until that point, most of the comics I encountered were superhero stories, which I love. But Bone was nice because it sort of showed, oh, you can do something very different with comics and make a whole epic, sprawling story. Doesn't need to be all cape comics.
And can you talk a little about the way artist Sarah appreciates this page in any different way than reader Sarah, who first found it?
Absolutely. I think, again, because I found the black and white volume sort of later, I was so struck by just how beautiful the comic is in just black and white. And I would flip back and forth through all these night scenes in particular, because just the amount that is shown of the characters, the light versus dark, how nothing is confusing. You always know the action, where the characters are, what's going on. I was kind of ignored the story, and I'm like, I'm just going to stare at this art for a bit and learn all I can. So
Perfect place to leave it. For those who want more all ages comics, check out The Adventures of Batgirl and Supergirl, written by Laurie Sutton and illustrated by Sarah. And thanks again, Sarah, for joining us.
Thank you, Sarah. So, and thank you, Kevin, of course. Now, I did get an image sent to me by Bob Layton. I guess he was doing his drink and draw on April 1st, and so he had to pull together something that was comical and not so serious. So here you go. The nose is back. So I don't know if Bob's still in the chat, but well done, Bob. We'll be looking forward to seeing you put that one up for sale at some point in the future. But yeah, very, very, very nice. I like it. So and we got it. We're gonna get Bob back on at some point. I saw him saying in the chat he's got another WTF episode that he'll be planning later in the month. So yeah, Carl, I agree. Bob knows how to knock him out. So let's see. We got Mr. Snork in the green room. He is back after being gone, having a good time, a little vacation last week, but here you are again, man. How was your week off?
It was good. I had 4 days off, but you know what? It felt like 10. It was nice.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Jason did all right, filling in for you. I mean,
He's okay.
He's saying downgrade in the chat. I don't know if he's talking about you or he's talking. Oh, I played the music for him to intro him. I felt I had to get him warmed up. So, oh,
you can
man.
have the music, Jason. It freaks me out.
Yeah, but he did all right though. But yeah, well,
He
I'm
must
glad you
have
had a
picked
good.
something. He must have picked something of Alberto's.
Did he? I don't.
Jason said, or I'm sorry, Alberto said Jason did a better job. So that's the only criteria Alberto seems to think about, is whether or not he owns the piece.
Exactly. Well, it is. Everybody's got to have their criteria about doing the picks and whether or not you're happy when the picks are released and everything. See, Alberto says he didn't pick my stuff at all. Well, geez.
Jason is great. I asked him to fill in for me because I know he does a good job.
Yeah, he did actually pick people whose names I didn't know. At least 3 or 4 of them I had not seen them, and he said he was going out on a limb. He was trying to pick people he wasn't familiar with, and he did.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I mean to.
That's all right. But so you were gaming, right? You were doing your.
I was, yeah. We went to Adepticon, so there's a big gaming convention. It was in Milwaukee for the first time in a very long time, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump. So we just drove down to Milwaukee for a couple of days, and it was a good time.
Awesome. Well, I have not put that care package in the mail yet for you. I hate to tell you, Gwen finally did the work that she needed to do to the thing hand yesterday. So
Nice.
I expect to have it in the mail. Yeah, but I hear you have a major event coming up, so I should save it, but I don't want to. I want you to get it, and I want you to open it on air. So
that'll be fun.
Work that out.
I gotta get my T-shirt. I want to floss that T-shirt.
I know. I gotta get that. That is part of the care package. It definitely is. And but I have to tell you, I'm planning on going to see my mom at the end of May. So I'm going to be in Cleveland, so not too far. I was looking at it's like a 6-hour drive to get to your place.
You'll never forget, Bill. You'll never forget your first trip to Madison, or maybe your last trip to Madison.
It very well could be, but so I haven't ruled it out. I'll just say that I've started looking at potential flights or renting a car while I'm at my mom's, and then taking 2 days off or something to drive over there. But we'll see. If I can, I will. I just want you to know. But yeah, I got to get this package to you.
So. Yeah, that'll be nice. Thank you.
So what did you think of that cap shirt? Did you like that?
Yeah, I loved it. That's pretty clever, I gotta say.
Alex is he's good. He's really good.
If you're gonna homage someone, you gotta homage the greats.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's for sure. Get the Yeah, Marcus would. I'll send one of those to Snork as well, but I don't think he nah. At any rate, let's get this calf update stuff on the road. I thought it was going to be much later with the video
I
clips
did
and
too.
things I
This is
had
a
to show.
pleasant surprise.
Yeah, but didn't that show at the Billy Ireland look really good? I mean,
Yeah.
that guy, was a serious art collector. I'd have to think like, um, there's those guys, the Golden Age guys on CAF have to be like salivating when they see stuff like that, especially,
Yeah.
because there's pieces in there I hadn't even seen before. That one, Justice Society cover
Mhm.
or no, interior page was amazing. I'd never
We went
seen that
there with
before.
when we went there with Tyler a few months back. They were teasing that, like they were super excited about that exhibit coming. So
Well, well, that's another thing for me to do when I'm in Ohio. I'm gonna have to see
yeah.
it. But cool. Well, let's do our picks here and stuff. Well, actually, before we get to that, of course, we have to do the calf update. But
Mhm.
Heritage, I got my Heritage picks to go through. Heritage picks it was an odd week. I'll be completely honest. They had it was funny. Like I found a lot of like great example pages, that don't have like the main character on it, but it had the artist that you'd want to get a piece from.
Hmm.
So there's yeah, we'll just kind of frame it like that. And I think there's like 3 or 4 pieces in here that would fall under that category. So like this first one, it's a Paul Pope Batman 100, year 100 page. So no Batman on it, but awesome Paul Pope art.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 280 now. I mean, I can't imagine that it's gonna, it's not gonna break the bank if it had like would have Batman on it, but overall, just a nice Pope page. Then Brayfogle. This was hey, 2 Batman pages in a row. What's going on
Oh,
around here?
whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, so this is I thought this page was awesome. Shadow of the Bat 66. I don't know who was the inker was. Oh, Stan Woke was the inker on
Mhm.
this one. But I love that. I love the framing that the binocular view there. I
Yeah.
just thought that whole 3/4 intro to this page is just phenomenal.
Pretty Brayfogle Batman too, even from the back.
Hmm. Yeah, that is a nice page. It's again, but Batman from the back probably won't be a very expensive one, and then this is just kind of an average page, but I know a lot of people like early Adam Hughes stuff. So this is a Maze Agency page with Rick Magyar inks on it, and you know, just kind of your average early Adam Hughes. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having a published page from this. I'd probably rather have something from Penthouse actually, but Maze
That's a good
Agency's
get though.
okay. Yeah, but yeah, that is it. Yeah, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. So I'm back to Marvel, everybody. Chris Pachalo, Dan Panosian inks on
Hey.
X-Men Unlimited page with Psych on there. But I mean, come on, Panosian inks
Oh wow.
over Chris. This is a nice page. I'll probably throw a bit on this one, but look at that. It's
Yeah.
just kind of cool because yeah, I can. Well, there's you think of Chris's work during this period, and it's not like edgy like this, but it's Panosian's inks on it that give it just a totally different feel. So I thought this was a good page. And where else we got here? This is a Alfredo Alcala Ghost 17 page. I just thought it was an awesome illustration, the whole thing,
Wow.
top to bottom. It's amazing. Just
That looks like a biblical illustration there on the right.
it does.
The
I mean,
rays.
I was smitten by this page. Man, look at this thing. This thing is great.
Very cool.
I mean, Ghost 17. You know, again, you want to get a good example page from Alcala. This would be it. Rick Welch says Lush Inks. Absolutely. Yeah, what's going on? That's a lot of DC. I don't know what something's came over me. Here we go. At least I got another Micronauts in here, strangely enough. So but this is Geis, Kelly
Mm,
Jones. Just a nice Micronauts page, arrow-wise.
yeah.
I mean, look at that.
It's got all the
Beautiful.
mains. Well, all the mains on it. I mean, Marionette, Bug, Eckroyer. Yeah,
Close.
the ones you care about.
Mhm. Yep. So that one's already at 430, so that's going to do pretty well. And I picked the Cockrum Wolverine illustration because I don't have one.
Yeah.
So I got Gene and Scott, but I don't have Wolverine yet. So I might throw a bit on this one just to push it up there. But Butch rules, absolutely, Bob. We
Oh,
all
it's not.
love Butch's work. I mean, he would be somebody we'd love to get to OAX one day, but I know he's not interested in shows right now. But
He's going to tell you he tried.
he did try. Bob did
Yep.
try. We actually, Bob reached out. I think that was a no at the moment. But I mean, I know Butch had needed to raise some money recently. He had to sell some artwork. He had a few things he needed to get some money for. So you never know. You never know. Might the timing might be right in years
See,
3
I
or 4
told
or
you.
5.
I tried, bro.
I know. Let's see here. So we got that one. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, here. See another an affordable page from Fantastic Four, John Byrne. 234, no FF on it, but you want a John Byrne FF example that's not going to cost you $8,000 to $12,000.
Yeah.
Here you go. And this is early.
Or
What
more.
was his first issue? Was 234 his first, or was it 233? Somewhere around in there.
I don't remember.
It was early 230 something, but yeah, again, you're not going to find a cheaper John Byrne FF page than this one.
True.
I would, if you want to get your first example, this is the one to get. And then this one too, Barry Smith, Sal Buscema, Conan 14 page, no Conan on it. It's already at $800.
You did tap into a weird vein here.
I know, and I think there were others too. There's a whole bunch of these pages like that. There was no like home run pieces in this auction, but just decent, really decent examples throughout.
Makes you wonder if it's like one consigner and that was like his wheelhouse.
Right. Exactly. He never got the top shelf page. He was always. Yep. But he did all right.
He got an example from the guy on the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, God, if you go and look, it was just piece after piece like that throughout the whole thing. So then I don't remember then Gilbert Shelton. These were always fun. I mean, I don't know about I'm a little older than you, but when I was a kid on the schoolyard back at Kidder Elementary School, what did we have to read? We had cracked magazines to read, and we had like Hot Rod, those kind of magazines. And Gilbert Shelton art was always in them. This was from Drag Cartoons issue 36, Wonder Warthog story. So this is the kind of stuff I read before I read comic books on the playground. Back in the mid 70s. So there you have it. And there's actually another. Is there another Gilbert Shelton? I don't know if it's Gilbert Shelton, but there's another really cool kind of drag racing-ish page. So clearly from the same seller. Yeah, Marcus, your mind is always in the gutter. I don't know if you might need to go see a psychologist or something.
He's consistent.
He is very. Yeah, we'll give him that. At any rate, these were always cool. And come on, it's Gilbert Shelton. I mean, I think that's awesome. But I threw a bid on this one. And immediately it was at like $25, and I'm like, I'll put $250 on it just to start it. And I was outbid on it. I thought, no way. I mean, nobody's going to put a bid over $250 in the first 12 hours on it, but they did. They did. All right, so we can remove that. There we go. So, but again, I would encourage everybody to go through the set from Heritage this week, because it's kind of crazy. It really was an interesting lineup this time. Now, the video for our friend Nick Berucci is next, and it's short because I'm actually joining Nick Berucci tomorrow. He's not selling anything, as it turns out. He wants to talk a little bit about the hobby. He wants to focus on CAF, and I have no outline for the show, but I'm going to be there for it. So cool. I haven't watched the video yet myself, but we'll hear what he has to say. Maybe I'm going to find out a little bit more what we'll be actually talking about.
Everybody, this Friday, April 4th, there's no art behind me because we're not going to put any art up for claiming. We're going to do something different. We've got a great audience that watches us on the original art experience. And some of you have signed up for Comic Art Fans for CAF. And the one thing I'd like to do was kind of like talking to James Siegel about this, and it's really more his idea. But we're going to highlight some art on CAF and talk about the collectors, because what we want to do is get more of you who have not signed up for CAF to sign up for CAF. CAF is Comic Art Fans, the acronym for those that don't know. Especially with Comic Art Fans having their Comic Art Live coming up, we want to promote it. So Let's get more people to sign up for Comic Art Fans. Let's talk about it. And let's also just highlight some great collectors that have awesome collections. So, this Friday, April 4th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, check out the original art experience and hit that thumbs up. Sharing is caring. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday and showcasing so much beautiful art from great collectors. Take care, everybody.
Well, there you go. Number one thing fan.
It's a Duke Fleet homage.
Yes, exactly. Or,
There was
you
a
know,
new field on there you could fill out, and I was
there
like,
is.
well,
I
I'm not
always
gonna
look at
leave it
that. And
empty.
I've never used it. I mean, it always says something like a spiritual leader of enlightenment or something like that, and you're supposed to fill in your own
Right.
thing. And I'm
I
like,
think it's supposed to be your title or your company
it's
name or something.
intimidating. You know, whatever they put in there by default is frightening. You know, so I don't put anything in there.
Yeah,
But
mine
no,
was
but
like
you did well.
CEO of like something brands or something. I was like, well, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Jason,
Just, you know,
I asked Duke very recently, and he said not yet.
he's not ready, but we've talked about it for a while. Duke has, you know, we always felt like he was a big Sergio collector, and
Hmm.
you know that's why he had the number one Groove fan for forever. And literally in the last 3 or 4 years, he's completely, you know, reinvented himself, picking up stuff that none of us would have ever guessed. I just think, you know, I've said it numerous times. I think that's cool, you know, to see a collector literally like kind of transform. And maybe he always loved that stuff, but he was so focused early on. It's like he's finally he's just running wild, picking up different things.
I like that because it's eclectic, but he's got like consistently good taste, right? Like it says to me that he's about the art maybe a little bit more than he's about the subject matter or the nostalgia or whatever. I mean, he's clearly got all that going on, but like I like the fact that he mixes it up.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And I have to say, you know, we always thought James Siegel was like the number one like art collector, always posting something every day. You know, so along with like Mickey. But has anybody been watching it? Derek Crabb? He's posting stuff
Yeah.
all the time, and a lot, you know, and I mean it's mostly DC related stuff I don't read, but a lot of great stuff, and it's like nonstop. The man has like found a honey hole of
He's
of
like
places.
Paul P. Jr.
Right, exactly. He's not posting Spider-Man covers, but every single you know, day it seems like. I mean, because he's in my watch set, I'm seeing new stuff
Hmm.
posted by Derek, so he's on a roll. So even
Yep.
Alberto, we all see it, right? When you start following people, you kind of get yeah, the professor is on fire. Everybody sees it. All right, it's not just me. Literally every single day, there's something new posted by him. But hey, I can let everybody know we're close to releasing V2 on the app. Might as well say it, you know, but we've been we had to work through some changes on how we handle the push notifications, but those are out there and they're working fine. We have a couple things to polish up on the Android side that you know that we just have to throw it out to people who have modern Androids and then see what doesn't work right, because I don't have one. Andy doesn't have a modern one. He's got emulators, right? And they're just not always perfect. So
Yeah.
we've got a couple small things there, but it is cool. I've been holding back posting some of my OAX stuff because I was like, I want to post things and then get 5 comments and get 5 push notifications and just have them
I
come in.
think Tyler T might have an Android. Hold on.
Well, so does well, like Tatiana has one, so we let her,
Okay.
you know, since we have her in the team meetings and everything, we can like have her poke around at it. But I for the longest time I thought Android didn't work right, you know, with the push notifications. I had one here. Do you have an Android?
No.
Have you ever used one?
No.
No, me neither. All right, so
I'm normal.
exactly. Well, I had this thing where when we were doing the tests, the phone would I hate to say this word, the phone would vibrate when it would get a push notification, the Android.
Hmm.
And but it never showed a notification like on an iPhone, right? I
Mm.
mean, nothing pops up. And so I would tell Andy that. I'm like, well, it's getting them because like it vibrates, I pick it up and it's not on there. But if I click the lock screen, or if I see the lock screen, I'll see the message on there. I said, but but the phone is live and I'm using it and the
Hmm.
notification comes in, it just vibrates. And I look and it says notifications are on. So what the hell's wrong with this thing? And I figured it was too old. And you know
Yeah.
what it is? It turns out I was doing DeTulio has one, and we were doing a review together of the like the last version, and I watched him. You have to slide down from the top to
Oh, it's a
see a
feature.
notification. So right, so rather than actually just showing it on the screen by default, like the iPhone does when you get a notification,
Mm-hmm.
you have to like slide down to see it. And I was like, son of a gun, for like the last 3 months when we were working on push notifications, I thought it was always wrong for Android.
And it was
I just didn't
working.
know how to use the phone. So, yeah, I know I felt stupid. See, not, yeah. At any rate, Daniel picked up some art the last week. He's local. He lives down
Oh,
in like Mount Dora, not too far from me. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna get. I'm not shipping him the art. I'm gonna take the art to him from the
yeah.
Jeff Wedding. Jeff,
Ultimate safety.
exactly. Hand deliver and have a beer at the same time.
Amen, brother.
Exactly. Give us the beta soon, Alberto, soon. And it was user error. No, it was user incompetence is what it was, Dave. Oh, who in that? If I get a notification, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want it to pop
How
up on
else
the
is it a
screen.
notification?
Right. I mean, the idea that, I mean, I kind of get it now, but it's still dumb. So anyway, you Android users, hey, all I could say is that the metrics that we have, even though from what James Siegel tells me, there's more Android users in the United States than there are iOS users. We have about 880 downloads from iOS and only about like 320 from Android. So as far as the art
Where's
collecting
James
world
getting his data?
it is heavy. Our hobby heavily leans toward iOS.
Yeah.
So yes. All right. So there we go. So so we got through all that, and now we can do the CAF update stuff. Let's see here. It was almost an embarrassing week for dealers. Was it a holiday that I missed?
It was almost an embarrassing week for CAF.
It was weird, but you could say that, but there was over well, I can't say there's 8,000 pieces posted for the month. So we've kind of been on a tear with
Yeah.
regards to the amount of art that has been going, getting posted to CAF. But I'm with you too. It was a weird week of artwork, and it took me longer than usual to kind of get my way through the whole thing here. But let me got to get my report screen up. I somehow managed to close it. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so art dealers. Well, let's just say it right now. $80,000 was the total from the dealers that
Whoa.
we track. We have never had a sub six-figure week ever. I don't understand it. It made me think something was wrong, and I went and I even rechecked the numbers direct because I'm getting these numbers from Collins reports, and Collins never wrong. But I ran them myself, and sure enough, it was $80,339. So Rob says he's wondering about the economy. I don't know. I can't believe that's it. You never know. But either way, bottom line, it was weird. It was definitely odd. And I haven't been paying attention to this week, but we'll see where it goes. At any rate, $80,000, lowest we have ever recorded in a week for original art sales from dealers. So Ramita Man, 7 sales, $21,000. Felix had 27 sales, $16,000. Albert, 12 sales, $13,000. And Marquet from Splash Page had 22 sales and $10,800. So really, really average. Nothing out of the norm. Really, right? No, not at all. All right, so let's see. Top 6 sales from this one. We don't need to see that one again. All right, comic art dealers. What do we got? We got this $6,200 Chickstone inked Jack Kirby penciled Journey in a Mystery 106 page. $6,200. That's not too bad. It just shows you that it really, I mean, that's almost reasonable price wise. But I guess no Thor in costume. You don't have any chance for hitting 5 figures. Then this was a sale by Berkey too, $5,500. Cap, Miller, Rubenstein piece. Then we got this very nice Ross Andrew, Frank Giacoya Marvel Team Up number 3 page. This one was sold by Mike as well, $5,500. Then this was an Albert Moy sale, Daniel Klaus, and then this one went for $3,500. It was from something called Meltdown Illustration for Gallery show in 1996. Then we got a couple. Well, no, this is a Berserker cover, issue 1, a variant cover. Matt Kint from Comic Con Art sold this one. Gosh, we almost never mention them. $3,500 for that, and then this Marco Santucci cover to Batman and Robin 21. Issue 21, yes, definitely. And then it was sold for $3,500. Comic Art House, Bob Shaw, another dealer we don't hardly ever mention. So
Used
there
to
you have it.
handle Russo, I think.
What's that?
Used to handle Craig Russo, I think.
I think he might still have Russo's stuff still up there. I mean, I think they still work together. I don't know,
Okay.
maybe not. Meltdown Comics in LA. I think you're right, Derek. I'm just not familiar with what that what that show was in '96. Something to research, but Albert sold it. Black Viper Adorn. Yeah, if you only have one eye, you might as well tell that to Cyclops. All right, what do we got next?
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe he does have 3 legs.
Oh boy, that's how he gets the ladies. Okay, moving right
I mean,
along.
his record is solid in that department. Leader of the X-Men, not so hot. Hot ladies through the roof.
Exactly. Oh boy. All right. So it was their logo. Thank you, Rich Danny's. All right. Auction results. They were better. $424,000 for auction houses last week. 276 was the week before that. They did have the what was it called? It was the pulp and paper showcase auction, the one that Sarah Jane previewed with me a couple weeks back on the CAF update. That was part of this week. I can look at. We don't have these in the reports, but there was that nice San Julian Vampirella that we looked at. That one went for $20,000, and most of the rest of the pieces were $8,000 and lower from that. So, but I think by itself it did fairly well. I think it added about $80,000 to that 424. The general, yeah, was it that? Yeah, it was 80,000. At any rate, let's take a look at the top 3 from eBay and the top 3 from Heritage last week. And first up, eBay, John Romita Jr., Uncanny X-Men 208, page 2, $15,500 for that one. Not too shabby.
Beautiful. Claws out.
Yeah. They're not straight enough for Jason. Then this one, this is like the best image that was of the bunch. The guy took like 20 photos, and this was the best. Brian Ballin, 2080 Judge Dredd page went for 9,289. Had like 60 bids on it, so a lot of people wanted it. I don't know the significance of it. And then this was listed as a Titans cover, clearly not, but went for $3,000. Somebody needs to fix their nail
Hack
polish.
those fingers off.
Yeah, exactly. Then over at Heritage, we had this, what was it, Arthur Adams Fantastic Four 349 page. It ended at 9,300. Then a Marvel Presents Guardians of the Galaxy page from issue 7. Milgram Wyachek here. Wyachek's inks, I think, are awesome. It's an end page and very, very nice. Went for 5,520. And then you have this Jerry Grandinetti Erie page, went for $4,560.
Wow.
Some fun storytelling in that. I like the those wacky abstracty shapes for the panels, wedging the copy in between. Hey, it works.
The blocked in inks almost look like if you like squint at it, then you see like the looks like a magic eye or something.
Yeah, that's true. What is this? Oh, Stingray picked up the pinup book by Sarah Jane. I was thinking about ordering that. I didn't pick it up yet. I'm almost through reading Warlock 5. Remember I picked that after that indie book. I think it's awesome. I mean, it's it's a little crass. It's the art's unique, but it's literally like taking me back to the mid 80s. Every time I'm reading it, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of what I liked about comics back then.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, they needed to get a manicure. What do you want me to say, Marcus? Come on. But remember, hey, hang out. We can look at those pages after the show.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I think
membership
I don't think
has
that was.
privileges.
I don't think that was manicure. I think that was amputation, Bill. They looked infected to me.
There definitely was something wrong. But the page of art was highly in demand, so it just didn't matter. A George Perez. Even if it wasn't a cover, even though they sold it as a cover, listed as a cover.
It looked like a fanzine cover or something to me.
So
like
maybe
I could have seen that for sure.
Okay, because it was 82. I don't know, when did he start?
The formatting was weird to be a comic cover.
Right. That's why I didn't think it was. But you're right, it could have been something along those lines. But when did he and Wolfman start the Titans run though? What year was that? I mean, I know I was picking them
82.
up still at like the drugstore, so that could have been early 80s, but that
Yeah.
piece said 82 on it. Where's my professor?
Where's the prof?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him. Hydra, of course. I mentioned that I would love to get a piece of art from Warlock 5. I get an email from Hydra who told me, check out my cap gallery. I got one.
All right.
I didn't reply to Hydra yet, but now I can right now. So I'm happy for you, Hydra. I still haven't had a chance to look yet, but I can't wait to look because okay, 1980 says first
80.
of all,
Okay.
beat the professor. So in theory, he could have done it for something, but
Yeah.
anyway. Jason says he thinks the guy's a scammer. The guy with the bad fingers is a scammer. No surprise there then. I mean, if he's not going
No.
to take care of himself, then he may be a scammer.
Maybe he's saving up for a hand transplant.
All right. DC Comics presents 26. I used to own a copy of that too. All right. Let's get on with our picks now. We got 20 of them to go through. Let me highlight. Let me get the screen shared here and get us started. So Hydra's only seen one in 25 years from Warlock 5. Yeah, I went immediately to eBay when we were doing that IC3 show, since I was just in the background doing the producer stuff, and there was pages from issues 13 and 14, whatever the unpublished ones were, and it wasn't by Beauvoir there or whatever, it was by, I can't remember the artist's name. So it's like, and there were 5 pages out there, but once I realized they weren't from the original artist and writer team, I was like, and they were cool pages actually, but I'm like, oh, I don't want that. I want to get something better. All right, so here we go. Sharing screen and getting us going here. So whose gallery are we in? Oh, Stuart Lawrence. Okay, so we have a Teixeira Hex number 9 page.
That top panel obviously like grabbed me. Even from the thumbnail, you could see what was going on there, so that was cool. There's just so much action on this page, and it's a little wonky, like, because they're on these like flying discs and stuff. So it's really fun as far as like how things are positioned and whatever. There's so much happening on here too. It's pretty fast paced in like these little panels at the bottom and whatever. But like you basically have like 3 panels of a gunfight. Hex wraps it up, and then there's this little exposition at the end. And I don't know, I love the staging. Like I said, it's fast paced, so I think it was well paced, and it has that Western feel, like in spite of being in the Hex comic, which was in the post apocalypse.
Right.
So Tex is great, love him. It's just like a lot of good elements to this one.
Yeah, who was the inker on this? Oh, Carlos Garzon. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's great. I thought the composition was wonderful, and like you said, it's the eyes in the first panel draw you in. But that's just fun storytelling, I mean, and that's probably all text too. I mean, he's looking at it, he's trying to give the vibe of the character really well, and then throw you into the action, and then it just kind of settles.
And even though it's early, like there are a lot of pieces on this page that have like the text feel, like the guy's face in that bottom left panel, like that definitely reads as text. Hex's face in the very next panel like really reads as text.
Yeah, this is nice. Good pick. Not enough comments yet on it, right? Though, let's see what we got. Well, Marcus got one on there, but Rick always this is in Rick's sweet spot too. I've got a pick from Rick's collection this week. So Jason Sean Alexander. We don't talk about Jason enough. I've always loved his work, but let me open. There we go, like that. That's probably a better way to look at it. This is gorgeous. This is just amazing.
Well, and I mean, me and inking technique, so this has got like a lot of different stuff happening on it. So I really liked it for that reason. The glowing, like the street lights kind of like emanating up in that first panel, I think was a really cool effect. It's an odd page for sure. Like the way it's put together is weird. Like the how Spawn kind of looks and feels is really leaning towards horror versus superhero. So I think that's a cool piece of it, but like, it's just really well executed while at the same time being like pretty odd,
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, the architecture is just, I mean, the way it's drawn, it's all warped.
Yeah,
Everything's, it's
it's
not
like
really.
fisheye. Yeah,
It is. Yeah, but it's all over the place. It's rippling almost. And
yeah,
I love the way he's treated these smaller panels in the bottom. The lack of faces on the figures in the first panel. Just through the way he's kind of running with the camera here. I just think it's great. And I mean, even it's back to the way he's treating the architecture there, that the corner of the building is like the front of a ship practically,
yeah,
the way he's kind of
yeah,
bending everything there. He's
yeah.
really warping reality, and it works really well. I mean, I bet this thing looks amazing in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even, well, there you go. Hydra says his stuff pops in person. I haven't seen enough of Jason's stuff in person. I hate to say
I
it.
think I've seen one.
Mhm. Dark City says Black Friday. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, it does have that feel to it. All right, we're in. Oh, Comic Art Fan, member of the site, 13 years. Good thing I trademarked Comic Art Fans. Should have thought about the singular as well. Do you know that? Did you know that like comicart.fans is available for
Wow.
a price? Of course,
Of
somebody
course, right.
somebody bought it and wants to sell it for probably like $5,000 or $10,000.
Hmm.
But James Jean, when I first saw this, I didn't think James Jean. I
Oh,
didn't look.
really?
I went right to the art. Yeah, I was like, who? I mean, I guess not. I should have maybe felt that only because of the figures in the back, right? I mean, that those feel like James Jean, but I can't say I've seen James Jean like draw a figure quite as grotesque as this one.
Well,
And
it's also like it's pretty sharp,
mhm,
and a lot of his stuff is very soft. So I guess I can see that. Yeah, I mean, as far as that central figure is concerned, it's really tightly rendered. I mean, James Jean, like in my mind, I think like perfect rendering, soft rendering. I rarely think of like sharp, thick, those kinds of things, which this
yeah,
central figure has going. So I guess I kind of see what you're saying there. But I mean, the thumbnail jumped at me for sure. And once you start pouring over it, you do get, furthering your point, really. Those figures in the background are, I guess much more what you would associate with his
mhm,
typical style. But I think that makes that figure in the middle like, more important to the composition, right? And it's highlighted in that way. So I think in that respect, very effective. I mean, he's such a great designer on top of being such an amazing illustrator. And you certainly you think about those things when you put something like this together, and he did it here.
yeah. No, it's amazing. What is it? It's cover to Fables 36. Wow.
This comic art fan
Mhm,
posted a few James Jean pieces.
really?
Oh, that's cool. The final cover looks like a propaganda poster.
Yeah. Join. That is cool. Well, I'll go back to this tab and see what other James Jean artwork they've posted. Yeah, I agree, George. The faces on the knee pads are pretty cool. All right. Well, thank you, Comic Art Fan, for sharing that with us. Then Ken Martin, we have now what was this from? Abyss 3, Dustin Weaver. You've picked some stuff from Dustin before, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, and I wasn't shy about telling you, like, there was a dearth of, like, I don't know, noteworthy art this week for some reason, and I found myself, kind of having to go back to the well for a few things. And Dustin Weaver is one of those pieces where I was like, I talk about Dustin Weaver now and again, but I love this stuff that he's doing for these EC revival books.
Hmm.
It's really like not what I think of when I think about his art. Like normally it's superheroes or sci-fi. This is definitely in the horror genre. So he's like outside of his, like, this doesn't have his normal touch, in my opinion. I mean, it's still really well rendered. It's still really tight in spots, but like if you look at the pants on the Gravedigger guy, right? Like
Hmm.
there's suggestions of folds and pleats there, right? But they're not what he would typically do. Like they'd be much more dialed in. But then if you look at like the tooth extractor that the lady's holding, like that's much more Dustin Weaver, right?
Hmm.
Or even the figure that's on the corpse, or the hopefully corpse that's on the slab, That's more Dustin Weaver. So like I like the fact that he's reaching with these pieces and he's leaning into the horror genre. It shows like his versatility as an artist, I think.
Well, it is quite frightening in its own
Yeah.
way. Although number one Marvel fan said that old lady is kind of sexy. I don't know. Old
Okay.
ladies with eye patches. I don't know. I'm not reading it that way, but
Yeah.
and then what James Siegel says, damn, did Chris just insult my posting this week?
I insulted everybody that posted this week. Not just you, James. It's not about you, James.
And it was last week, just so you know, James. Maybe you didn't post any artwork last week. So, there's that. But no, this is cool. And let's see. Let me get my like on that one. Where are we going to next? We've got, Carl Choi. Look at this. We got a Wildcats
and again,
page from
I
Travis.
had to go back to the well for Travis, but I so clear this is this isn't that isn't that old. It's old at this point, but it's not that old. I have a lot of nostalgia for this image. So the Black Hammers and like this period of Travis working on Wildcats is very near and dear to me. So in spite of the fact that like this is like in my mind like proto Travis, like it's not what he became, you start seeing it in here. And this is when he was still closer to like Carlos Deanda and Jim Lee and things like that, before he kind of like when he came back on Wildcats, they relaunched Wildcats, which I think is really what everybody so dearly loves. There's some of those earmarks in here. So I think from that respect, it's awesome. But like I said, for me, this is a nostalgia pick almost more than anything.
No, it's beautiful. But I hear you. I mean, the week was weird too.
Yeah.
You got to go back to, and we're going to see a piece in here that everybody's going to go. There's going to be a groan from the audience.
Oh,
but it's but it's under, what year was this? Did it say on the piece? I can't remember.
It's old. Yeah, I'm gonna say 1996.
Okay. And it's an end page. Always good. Well, congrats, Carl.
Awesome pickup.
Jason, you had it easy your week, my friend. That's all I gotta say. All right. So Clancy Breslin, 5-year member of CAF from Australia. Down under. Hulk.
Probably not watching then.
No, probably not. Free Comic Book Day. Ryan Otley. Is that MODOK in there?
It's MODOK. Yeah, that's part of the reason I picked it. If you look at the additional images, I think he's got the published page there, and you can more clearly make out that it's MODOK.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's having a train driven through him. So, I mean, this is, I love Otley for this kind of stuff in particular, like these absolutely like outlandish. We've said this on the show before, but there's some stuff that is just made for comics. This is one of those images, right? If you saw this in a movie, if like whatever, it wouldn't look right. It wouldn't be convincing. It wouldn't be whatever. But when you see it in a comic, it just works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally understand. I mean, there's just being able to capture that moment, right, of destruction, and it's over in 2 seconds if it happened in a Marvel movie. But yeah, you get to go back and relive that moment over and over again, and maybe that's one of the things that's special about comics, right? I mean, it's freezing moments in time perfectly for you.
Yeah,
and you're right. This has much more impact as a comic. Although I wouldn't mind seeing MODOK getting his giant robot run through by a train that maybe Hulk threw at him or something. But
I'm sure that was the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
The train has an American flag on it. Nice touch.
America. All right. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a real good one. Otley, huh? And who's CAF Gallery again? Clancy Breslin from Down Under. I don't think I've ever been in Clancy's CAF Gallery. But we need a bigger scan of this one, Clancy. That's all I can tell you. Next, Hoxton Arcade. I know I've been in their CAF gallery. They've had that name forever, and they've been on CAF for 18 years and change.
Wow.
So what do we got here? It's an unknown artist, but you are reaching here. Now we can't even say who the person is that drew this.
I know.
And it's a UK artist, so it's even more obscure for us US collectors.
When I started looking at it more in depth, it really reminds me of Michael T. Gilbert.
Hmm.
And this,
Okay.
predates, Mr. Monster, obviously, and whatever. But the faces in particular really look like Michael T. Gilbert. And to be honest, the subject matter is not far off either.
Hmm.
But I love the swirling imagery of the serpent, like in the squared panels. It's like oddly, I don't know, it just works so well. And then when you like pack them in between the people, talking and things like that, I just like this page has kind of a mesmerizing like swirly effect to the whole thing. It like carries through like top to bottom. And in spite, like, we don't know who this is, like we know nothing about the source material or what they're saying, what they're doing, et cetera, et cetera. And it's kind of primitive in a way too, but I don't know, it just grabbed me. I really liked it.
It is very interesting. I'll give you that. I mean, I like the inking on it. Very very rich. But yeah, it's weird and feels definitely like a UK story.
Mhm.
Whatever's going on in there. But when I look at it's funny when I look at the serpent more than the people, I see Gilbert's
Oh,
at
really?
least work. I think so. Yeah, just in the way
Okay.
the inks are handled, and just you're right. There's something about it that just the way he's handling some of the brushwork in here. I don't know. But again, it could be more influence than anything. It's probably not Gilbert, but
That
I get
lady's
that.
face on the top left, that's a Michael T. Gilbert face, if you've ever
Okay.
seen one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Professor is researching it for us right now.
Let's go.
Now, all right, here you go. Mike Mignola. Let's
Uh,
get the like
yeah.
on here. It's an unpublished piece. You get Starman, you get Batman, and Hellboy, of course. And
Hellboy.
now I'll say it. Now Hellboy doesn't. He's starting to lose his shoulders on here. I know
Starting.
that
Starting.
starting. He hasn't lost them yet. I know that's important.
It is, yeah. Batman's got some big ones on this though.
He
So,
does.
yeah. The shapes on this, I mean, obviously it's Mignola, so you got to talk about shapes, but like Batman's cape coming up through the Starman crackle that's coming off of his staff, I think is so effective here. Wedging the three characters together in that triangle, I think works really well too. And then the cape breaks the triangle. It's unused, which I was kind of trying to think back to like the image that they did wind up using for this cover. And I think it was very, very similar. So, kudos to Justin for getting like an incredible piece of like period Mignola art and probably not paying what he would have had it been published.
There you go. Stingray says it was just recently on Heritage, and Jason says this is the Mignola you went with. Hey, we get it. We get it, Jason.
You got to do picks last week, homie.
That's right. You could have picked anything you wanted. You went obscure. Batman has 3 legs, says he? I don't know.
That's the rumor.
It's a rumor. All right, George Hodge. I put
Hell
this
yeah.
I put this image in the mailing today. I liked it so much.
I love
Dear Moss
this.
is, I even I forget who's the rep that sells some of his work. I was on their
Yeah,
site.
he just signed with somebody a few months ago, and I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is it Black Diamond?
No, it's not Black Diamond. I remember the website's got lots of orange in it. Dear Moss art for sale. I had never been on their site before, and it might have been like Monday, and I don't even know what rabbit hole I went down to find it. But I was like, oh, it was a dealer's name who I hadn't seen before, and the artwork was really priced reasonably. The stuff
Yeah,
that was still
that's the
there.
thing is, I mean, that's the dirty secret about Carlos Diarmas. If you can get him to do something for you, it is very cheap.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it now because I would happily share it in the chat. Boy, I'm gonna have to dig around. It was gosh. I'll have to keep. I should have bookmarked it. Oh well. Robert says he takes commissions directly still. I think it was like on his Instagram, and I followed a link from there because doing a search is not turning it up. It has to be.
I got mine directly. I got my commission from him directly through just messaging him on Instagram. Let me look him up on Instagram.
Okay, but anyways, this is in George's calf gallery. It's gorgeous. I love it's funny. I love the weight of the space between the lines of ink. You know, he has such a unique touch that everything has a dimensionality to it that, you know, I mean,
Hmm.
whatever these you know, these images, these things are beneath the sun. I mean, the, you know, the spires and everything
And it's
feels
all
like
like
it
it's like
has mass.
cascading towards you too.
Yeah, it just you know, it has a mass that you know, I just feel like he's just kind of sculpting with his line work here. I think it's this piece is marvelous. I
It's
mean, I love it.
really, I mean, it's really classical. It's got like you know, all the earmarks of a, you know, classical illustrator, a classical artist, you know, like this is bordering on fine art, to be totally honest. If it didn't have word balloons in it, like you
Mhm.
almost take the comic book element, you know, out of it entirely. And like the majority of what we see from him is not, you know, even when he is doing comic book characters, he's, you know, kind of in that Near Levy or like Matt Lesniewski way, like he's putting his own stamp on their costume or, you know, like something like that to make it his own a bit. But when you look at something like this, it's not sequential, right? I mean, there
Mhm.
are sequential elements kind of like as an underpinning because you are following, you know, through the whole thing. And there are, like I said, there are word balloons, but yeah, this really stands on its own as like a piece of art. Like this is the kind of thing where, you know, if your spouse didn't want you hanging up comic art in the living room, you could put this up.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably wouldn't get too many complaints. Sorry, I'm still searching. I'm gonna figure it out. I can't believe I can't find it. I thought,
He doesn't mention his rep on his Instagram.
yeah, I thought maybe it might have been Enrizo, but it's not. I don't know why,
Mm,
because I know I was on his site earlier in the week, but no, it's not that. Hmm.
yeah, I don't see it either.
Oh
Well,
well,
anyway, contact him directly on Instagram and tell him I sent you.
I will.
Tell him
I
George
will.
Hodge sent you.
All right, that sounds fair and fine to me. Yeah, it's gonna bother me now that I don't know where the heck that was. Anyway, all right. But yeah, I think this is amazing, George. You really did great. Sorry, we were kind of going off on a tangent there, but just again, there's so much wonderful storytelling going on here. I mean, it's like a mix between, you know, Bastion and Sergio Aragonis, and I don't know what mixed in, but it's just fun and beautiful. And
And
um,
there's like nods to, you know, famous art, famous images.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah, no, you did really well there, George. Um, I think this was your last one too, right?
it is.
This is in, was this Jordan's? Yeah,
Yeah,
Jordan. Okay.
had to
This
go out
is,
with a bang.
yeah, this is pretty awesome. Really, really nice Casada.
I've always loved this image, and like there's things about it that I don't love,
Hmm.
but it's such an odd but like powerful choice to put him in that pose. Like you wonder like what's happening that Cap is like crouched down like that. It's like he's like summoning up the strength to do something important or, you know, something like that, which I think for Cap works so well. But Casada, I mean, he just continues to be such an incredible illustrator, and I'm guessing this, you know, started its life digitally, and you know all that kind of stuff that he does now, particularly because of kind of the effects that are on the shield. I'm
Hmm.
guessing it, you know, again started its life digitally, but I don't know. I just like this image. I remember when this came out and thinking like, wow, what an odd choice, but it just works, and I that's really why I picked it for tonight. It's I still think that.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. I don't like that he had Chris Evans sign it, but other than that, I think it's
Yeah.
freaking awesome. Um, yeah, I do. I like this. I mean, Danny Mickey getting to do the inks on the piece.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And you know what? I do think Dermas was on that
Okay.
RizzoArt.com, but I don't think it's but it's not there anymore because now I know how I stumbled on it. He had pieces in his calf gallery for sale,
Oh, okay.
and I know when I went on the site, maybe Sunday, no, you know, but no later than Sunday, there was actually pieces for sale there too, and they're not there now.
Okay.
So
Maybe they
yeah,
already parted ways.
maybe, maybe. Um,
Well, I can say like as somebody who commissioned him, it's I had no issues. It was relatively timely. It was packed well, So
That's
if he can
awesome.
do it himself,
Yeah, why not? More power to him.
yep.
All right, on to my stuff. This is an X-Men page by Jack Kirby. Chick
Yeah.
Stone, but it's got Thor all over it, and it's
Yep.
freaking awesome. There are, the X-Men are there in their street clothes in the first two panels, but I think this is cool, man. You
Get
get
some
the Avengers,
Avengers. Yeah.
right? I mean, shoot, this is beautiful, and this was in was it Ron S's calf gallery, but
I think that's a triumph there at the bottom too.
is it? Yeah, it does look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this is a great page. I
Yeah.
mean, Thor is drowned. The way the heavy inks on the figures. I mean, it's
Mhm.
just there's power behind the approach to this piece. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, Chick Stone had a way, like with his inking, made Kirby like, we would come to call this style of work like many years later, like an animated look, like
Mhm.
Bruce Timm and things like that. But like it's Chick Stone. Those thick black outlines, things like that. It like really has a way of creating separation. It has a way of like, there's no question about what's happening on this page. It's really clean. And me personally, like if I see a Kirby Stone FF page, I'm always like, but like this is terrific. And maybe because it's not the thing, whatever, for whatever reason, um, I really love this.
Yeah, me too. No, it's fantastic. So, all right, Kirby maybe moved up a notch on my, he's still not in the top five, but this
5.5.
exactly. But congrats to Ron for that one. So let me move on to my next one. I had to pick this one. I mean, it's just it's too good. Did I
Mhm.
like it? Yeah, I did like it on the app. David Lloyd, um, just a phenomenal page. I mean, I can't imagine that there's too many better pages that collectors would want, to get from this book. It's just beautiful. I mean, it's everything you'd want. The stark blacks, the lighting, the
Mhm.
way you'd want it from the fire. And it's just from the lamp side. I mean, and it's just wonderful. And a
Yeah.
chapter page too.
Right. Yeah, I love how the stark images in the top and bottom corners.
Hmm.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yep. So where we go from there? Oh, I had to pick this one. It's in Nick's Barucci's Calf Gallery.
Hmm.
Buckler, DiCarlo, just an awesome JLA cover. I
Yeah.
mean, I just think it's just amazing. I mean, I came back to it a couple different times, and I that's why I made it the show graphic. I just thought it's so striking, and DC did really well with this approach to the cover. I just love it. Everybody seriously looks sad and shy.
The covers from this period of Justice League, like everyone was like, "Oh my god!" and you just snatch it up. You're like,
Hmm.
"What's happening in here? Why do they all look terrified?" Yeah,
Right, exactly. I mean, you have to read this one, right? You
yeah.
just have to read it. And yeah, you did great with this one, Nick. I mean, this is it's beautiful. It really is really, really nice.
Plus, Phantom Strangers on there. Come on.
Hmm. Yeah, no, the more I look at it, the more I like it. That that's a good one. What does Nick say? Everyone was competing with the Perez covers. Okay, yeah, they had to. Everybody had to up their game. Let's see. Oh, now everybody's been avoiding Sandman art of late. Deservedly so. There has been really great
Wait,
Sandman
did
art.
I miss something?
Yeah, I mean, so we've been not picking it as well,
Yeah,
and I'm avoiding it in picks for auctions or everything or whatnot. But we get a nice piece that kind of makes us, well, it gives us a moment to forget all of the negativity surrounding it. Just a nice delirium by Art Adams, color thrown in, and it's
yeah,
a sketch cover. I mean, at the end of the day, it was the last piece I picked. And after like seeing, okay, that's a good salmon. We're not going to talk about that one. That's another good
yeah,
salmon. We're not going to talk about. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pick this one because I can. And it's
yeah.
but yeah, and it's recent from last month, or no, 2 months ago now. It's in February, but Cool. Nice.
It's
You know?
I love the freckles, like that's so good. And the it's just that little like faint touch of color in like an otherwise like pretty open space. The expression's really cool. Yeah, this is a nice, if you got this from art, you'd be thrilled.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't reading the chat. Nick said he's had that piece of art for years, and finally, you're pulling a Mickey on us, Nick, by posting something you've had in your collection for more than 5 years. Not fair. But at any rate, there you go. Nice piece there by Mr. Art Adams. Then this was a cover recreation by Tim Truman in Rick's Calf Gallery. Everybody knows I love Tim Truman,
Same.
and I mean, look at that. Isn't that awesome? I mean, even he gets the colors on it too, and the colors are even that weird saturated,
Yeah. Yeah.
dirty.
Like
Man,
post print.
how the heck does he do that? And the oranges and the
He's good.
browns and the reds and the yellows, and they're all dirty looking. But
Yeah.
he did it perfect. I thought this was awesome.
This is better than the original, in my opinion. Like I
Yeah.
actually went back because I was gonna pick this, and I thought I talk about Grimjack. I picked Tim Truman. Like I'm not gonna pick this.
Mhm.
But when I saw this, it made me, because I knew it was a recreation. I was like, oh, I should go look at the original. This one's better.
Oh,
He
that's
he
great.
grew in the interim.
Yeah, I love this. Well, Rick, you keep your Truman collection is second to none, man. You really, I mean, uh, I love Truman stuff, and you have my favorite collection of his work. Did I put my like on it yet? No. Okay, there we go.
Ding.
Corrected that. 5 more from me. So here you go. We were looking at that Machado piece earlier that was inked by Panosian. So here's a Buckingham inked piece. And you can easily see the difference. Buckingham kind of sticks more to Chris's aesthetic, I think. But how cool! I mean,
Such a great combo back in the day.
Yeah, they were. And this is just such a weird. The whole layout is odd, but boy, I mean, it's awesome.
Like template was so weird.
Mhm.
I thought it was funny to me because you know how like everybody makes a big noise now about how like artists and writers like do self inserts, like that character's a self insert for the writer. I kind of like, even way back when, before I knew what a self insert was, Emplate's character design felt like, to me, Chris Bachalo was like, I want to do something on this book that I want to draw. Like, I want to put this weird, creepy bastard in here with a gas mask and long nails, and like, I don't know, like the character design for Emplate made me think that like that was him trying to like put a little bit of like Bachaloism into that mutant book.
Well, if that's the case, he did it really well. But I love it. I love this. I wasn't right. I don't even know if I went back and read this book, but I wasn't reading during that time. But I think it's awesome. I think it's beautiful. And Bob Layton, he's still with us. He said he loved working with Tim Truman at Valiant. His Turok rocked.
Amen, Tom.
And you worked with just about everybody, Bob.
Right,
Tom. And this is in Steve Crow's Calf Gallery. I try to avoid Steve stuff because he always has great stuff. I ended up picking something of his.
Does this? Is he premium?
No.
Oh, that's
The only
right.
time he was premium was when I gave him that.
Yeah.
I granted him a premium one when that guy, generously donated the 10 to us. But maybe I'll have to do it again. His collection's too nice not to have.
I know. I would love to blow this up and pour over the inks.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Southern Comic Geek was agreeing with Mr. Layton on his Turok work. So I picked this Dennis Cowan. This is from OAX 2025, everybody. Hashtag OAX 2025. Andre's Calf Gallery. I picked it because, I have certain expectations out of Dennis's work. And I would not, I probably, had I not seen his signature there or read the title before I went to it, I wouldn't have thought this was Dennis's work. So it made me feel like, that's kind of cool. Dennis at a show did something that I wouldn't have expected out of him. I mean, the style.
It's doubly cool because of the collaboration with Sienkiewicz so much, right? Like you kind of get to see him.
There you go. I didn't even think about that. You're right. With this, often as Bill has inked Dennis's work, I mean, they have to. There's clearly a, I don't know, there's something there between
There's an
the
understanding at a
an
minimum.
understanding. So right, so
Yeah.
he tackles one of Bill's characters and he makes it work. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I just didn't see this as Dennis's. And Dennis was I don't think I think I said hi to Dennis at the reception when he was getting his badge, and that was like the worst moment to see him because he's like not got his badge. He just wants to go in and get a chicken leg
Right.
or something, and all we got is, we're just stalling him at the door trying to get his badge. So I just said hi to him there, and I never got to say a word to him after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dennis Cohen. I'll never let Jim McLaughlin live that one down. But at any rate, I thought this was cool, and we haven't shown too many pieces of art from OEX in a while. So I saw that Andre posted this one, and I thought it's the right time.
This does beg the question though, like what if you had him do like Electro? What if you had him do, you know what I mean?
That's true. That's a good question. I want yeah, that's kind of that's a neat idea. I'd
Yeah.
love to see him tackle some of Bill's more
Emblematic.
popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daredevil? I mean, let's
Sure.
yeah, now you got me thinking that would be kind of cool. All right. That's the task. Anybody that sees Dennis Cowan at a show in the next 3 to 6 months, have him do a convention sketch based on one of Bill Sienkiewicz's most
Yeah.
more notable characters. Doesn't matter.
Kingpin. Yeah.
Yep, I like that.
Moon
Moon
Knight.
Knight.
Hell
Moon
yeah.
Knight. Okay, that's a good right there. I like that one, Marcus. Somebody's got to do it, and you got to let me know when you're going to be posting it to CAF because we will feature it. I'm just saying that right now. Maybe you never know. Dennis can finish big numbers. He would be the only one that could outside of Bill. So then this is over in our good friend Tom McDonald's calf gallery, Daryl Banks, who we've had on the show before, and I just thought this was just a really nice illustration of
Yeah.
a Green Lantern. It's funny we posted that a page I love segment for Daryl not too long ago too, and he
Mhm.
and a lot of people were commenting on it. I don't know how they that are fans of Daryl's work, and so it made me go back and look at some of Daryl's older stuff. He's really he's got a style that I really like,
Yeah.
and I really wasn't super familiar with it before. Really, I've never, I guess probably because he's just drawn stuff I haven't I haven't read a lot of,
To
but yeah, I
him,
thought this-
I think of him in like a Ron Lim kind of way or like a
Mhm.
Mark Bagley kind of way, where it's like it's clean, it's solid, it's readable, it's comics, you know what I mean? And not in a negative way. Like it's just like when you pick up a comic book, if it's got Daryl Banks art in it, you're not going to be disappointed. You know,
right.
you might not become like a devotee of Daryl Banks, but like at the same time, like he knows his craft.
Definitely. Yeah, no, the more I'm looking at I love it. He's very competent. This is late 90s, I guess, but
Mhm.
yeah. Way to go,
Yeah,
Tom. This is a great
powerful pose.
pickup.
It's great.
But there we go. Now it's completed. Two more to go here. Raphael Albuquerque. We've picked a few things from him before. This is a Blue Beetle in John C's Calf Gallery. Just like I like the layout. I like the action. I don't know.
Mhm.
You could superimpose the characters, and I'd still, it could be totally different battle scenes and stuff,
Sure.
and I'd probably still like it. I mean, it's kind of like the way I think we're seeing a lot of illustrators tackle comics these days with the crazy action lines, very thin. It just feels very familiar, but I still like it. It hasn't like run its course where we need to move into the next dynamic of the way illustrators approach drawing comics. I'm still engaged in liking it, and there's something
Mhm.
about this page that I really liked a lot, and it's partially maybe the heavy, the black
Blacks.
background, at the top that kind of helps. It just grounds the page, and then you get the action kind of falling out of it. I just really enjoyed it.
It's a great thing about Blue Beetle's costume actually too
Mm,
are those blacks, and it really like it heightens the effect of the blue components and the yellow components of the costume because everything else is black. So like that the armor piece in his head and everything is automatically your focus because everything else that's going on in that costume is essentially a mass. I give Cully Hamner a lot of credit for that.
hmm Well, very nice piece by Albuquerque here. I don't, and Chris was not saying serviceable. I know you gave him the smiley face, but no, it'd be, it's, well, not, all right, I'm not going there. Anyway, one more piece. Paul Pope. I really got to buy something by Paul Pope one day. I
Yeah.
love featuring his artwork a lot. What was it from? It's from Ecstatics. The title I really enjoyed. I just thought this was a beautiful page. I mean, I love the layout. I see this, and Felix still has some Nick Dragota, inked by Mike Allred pieces from
Hmm.
Ecstatics. I mean, I see that. I love the characters. They're so offbeat, and it's funny. I looked at I actually went and looked at a couple of Dragota pages after I saw this one, and it's like the artists kind of take a similar approach to these characters. I mean, Allred and Pope and Dragota, and it's just neat to see. And
Hmm.
they stay offbeat, and maybe it's they're picking artists that kind of have that kind of style to begin with, I guess, and it just sort of works. But yeah, I just, this page it's beautiful to me. It's
Well,
music.
I think between writer and editor, I mean, like they made some very deliberate kind of like non X-Men choices on this book,
Mm,
right? And like the tone of the book was certainly part of that, but the art team was like absolutely a part of it. And Paul Pope on this book, like this is, look at the motion on here.
yeah. I
Like
love it.
every single panel is like somebody's getting pasted,
It's
like
so
there's a
good.
big tentacle whipping around. Yeah, it's just awesome.
Oh man, it is. It's too good. I mean, it's so, yeah, it's so great. I really like. It makes me just want to go back and read those Ecstatics books because they were so fun. Yeah, Milligan must have had that effect. Well, why not, right? I mean, Milligan, his writing was fantastic too. So, all right, well, anyway, great stuff. That's my last pick. We made it.
Nicely done.
Yeah, thank you. You did well too.
Prior to 10:30.
Man, I thought for sure this was going to be a midnight tonight. I don't know why. That was well, I had a couple videos and I thought, boy, it's going to run long.
I
But
looked at the email and I said to Becky, I was like, I think it's going to be a long show tonight. So you're not alone.
yeah. Well, you know what? I'm trying to, pick up the pace a little bit.
All
Maureen's
right.
always, she's always told me, she's like, it's got to be 2 hours. They were more fun when they were 2 hours. We can
Mm,
never get under 2 hours. We've been at this rate for a little while, but no, hey, we get it all said and done, and we can get on with our nights. I can go get my shot of bourbon before I go to bed.
attaboy.
So, listen, everybody, we sincerely appreciate you hanging out with us as always. And Daniel Goodwin, I'll email you after the show, and we'll figure out when we're going to get together for our beer, and I can get you that artwork. But well, let's see, what do I got? Saturday, remember, it's a double header, 2 o'clock. I start off with Russo. 9 o'clock, we got Jiggy and Next Comic Art. So, prepare your day, plan your day accordingly. Sunday, you're wide open. You don't have to do anything. No, nothing on the Comic Art Live channel. But Saturday, 2 shows. So there you have it. So have a wonderful night and, good Friday. And then we'll see you on Saturday. Good night, everybody.